All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 461 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to talk strictly Atlanta Falcons because I am a little concerned about this team. And I really want to make this entire episode about that because we need to have a talk. If you want to hear anything about Georgia Southern, I just did a video on them. That was my last upload on my YouTube or Rumble. So you can go and check any of those avenues if you want to see what I think about Georgia Southern. I think they're doing pretty good, to be honest. But we're going to talk about Atlanta Falcons. We're going to talk about them because I am very concerned about what's going on here. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And the Atlanta Falcons, overall, has been very competitive throughout this season. I mean, it's nothing to take away from 3-4. Kind of little bit of above expectations from most people in the media, especially when you talk about national media. Most of us had us winning like one game or something like that, maybe two, but we already won 3, and we are projected to at least, like I thought we were, be 7-10 once again this season. I didn't think that we were going to be, in a case where we can win a lot of games, but 7-10 was right around that area. But the concerning thing that I have is the fact that we're scared to pass the ball. And I think Coach Arthur Smith is protecting the passing game for reasons that, to be honest, we don't know. But I wonder how much do we really trust Marcus Mariota or even Desmond Ridder, for that matter, to throw the ball around the football field. In today's NFL, you have to throw the ball. You have to throw the ball efficiently, and you have to throw it where you can gain a lot of yards. Now, I'm looking at some of these stats for Marcus Mariota. Some of this stuff is just absolutely abysmal. I mean, don't get me wrong. Efficiency-wise, he's doing okay. He's completing passes. But the lack of actually passing the ball to an extent where it could be very effective, don't see any of that. You're looking at a situation where Marcus Mariota is averaging around 12 to 14 passes a game. I think 12 is a little bit too low, 12 to 40. You're probably looking at between 15 and 17 passes a game, and he's only getting anywhere between 120 to 200 yards a game. I think it was only one time that he's actually threw for over 200 yards. 2 times that he's thrown over 200 yards, and it's the low 200s. He threw for 215 in the first game against the Saints, and he threw for 229 in the Seahawks game. Everything else has been 196 or lower. And look, let me tell you something right now. In today's NFL, that's not going to cut it. It's just not. You saw what Joe Burrow did against us. Joe Burrow literally threw for 340-something yards in the first half against us. And I find that very, very embarrassing. Now, I do understand that A.J. Terrell, Casey Hayward, we had a lot of defensive backs out. I get it. They put up 35 points. We need to find a way to make this game a shootout. And when you have receivers like a Drake London, Kyle Pitts, hell, I'll even say Zacchaeus, you need to put these guys in position so they can, get some space and fly down the field and go score for score with this team. I feel like we have the weapons to do so as far as the actual receivers and tight ends. The problem is, I feel it's the quarterback, and I think Coach Arthur Smith is protecting Marcus Mariota because he doesn't want to have too many turnovers. Now, understand, I've seen this happen with a lot of coaches. Even Dean Pease has talked about this on defense, where you don't have the personnel to do certain things within your defense. So even though you have it in your arsenal, you're not going to use it because the guys that are on defense just not capable of running that style of play or concept or whatever the case may be. It seems like this is the same thing that's going on here with Arthur Smith in the offense. Marcus Mariota, as much as he likes to roam around and scramble, and he likes, he does do some things that extend plays, I'm not sure that Arthur Smith wants Marcus Mariota to throw the ball too far downfield. Now, I don't have all the stats in front of me, but I can't remember one time that he honestly threw the ball consistently down the field. Maybe once or twice a game, if any, but everything has been a very safe, very conservative style of play when it comes to throwing the football. I'm telling you right now, in the NFL, that's not going to win. Even if you have a Derrick Henry back there, it's not going to. You see what happened to them? You have to be able to throw the ball at a high level in this game. You just have to. I would like to see Marcus Mariota throw the ball double the times that he's been throwing it. This last game, he was 8 for 13 for 124. I would like to see him go for 16 of 30, or I would like, no, I ain't gonna say 16 for 30, 16 of 25, or I would like to see him go for 20 of 30. I want to see him throw the ball a little bit more and be a little bit more aggressive downfield. Like the first game that we had against the Saints, he threw the ball for 33 times. He threw the ball 33 times. But he only threw for 215. So it just goes to show you that it just seems like they're being very conservative with the way he threw the ball. Now, it's a good thing that he threw the ball for 30 plus, because like I said, in this league, you have to push the ball like that. You have to do that, in my opinion. You see this as a passing league. You have to push the ball downfield and push the ball. But when I mean push the ball, it's not just dropping back to throw. You got to extend and stretch these defenses. And when you got a guy like Drake London, you have a Kyle Pitts, you have other guys that are on the team that can actually move a little bit. A Brian Edwards, for instance, a guy that we don't even get to see much of. When you have a guy like that, like those guys, you want to see them extend the field, stretch the field open. You know, I mean, you just have to at least have the threat of it, so you can open up the front seven, so you can run the ball more. You have to do something there, because something isn't right here. It just isn't right, and I'm getting really concerned, because we're not going to win many games if we keep doing this. We're just not. It's just not going to happen. I mean, when you look at the rest of the schedule and what could happen with this team, you know, when you have the Panthers, who look really good, this past game against the Buccaneers. I'm actually impressed with the Panthers did. I was looking at the next 5 games we have. I was thinking that we're going to beat the Panthers. Now I'm not so sure. It's still possible. Don't get me wrong, because the Falcons, they went up against a team that's just flat out superior. The Bengals are just flat out superior than us. I mean, those guys just went to the Super Bowl last year. Don't get me wrong. I love the way that we played against the Rams, the other Super Bowl contending team from last year. But we just ran into a buzzsaw, and then with our secondary depleted the way it is, I see how they put up those numbers so fast. But offensively, we need to be a little bit more aggressive as well, even if it is, in some cases, to our detriment, because the only way you're going to score points if you actually try and do something. That's the only way you're going to try. You have to do something. I mean, it's one of these plays here where Marcus Mariota throws the ball to Damian Byrd. I mean, that was for 75 yards. You know, I mean, he put the ball up there. You want to see more of that. You know what I'm saying? You want to see more of that. I don't know how many more times that it was that. I can't remember how many more times it was in the game that Marcus Mariota did this, but you want them to throw the ball more like that. So you got to understand, 75 yards on that one play. 75 yards on that one play pretty much gave us everything else that we had. So I feel like we're in a situation where Coach Smith is trying to be cautious, and I get it. I do get it. I understand to an extent, because we kind of know that Marcus Mariota is limited, and you don't want to give the defense too many opportunities. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it is. He's just trying to protect the passing game, because you don't want to turn the ball over too much with interceptions. But with that being said, I think it's kind of indirectly saying that he does not trust Marcus Mariota. I don't know what it is. It just seems like he doesn't trust him. But for the second time, for another thing to it, Desmond Ritter's there as well. Do you get the sense that Desmond Ridder may need to play, or is he just trying to protect Desmond Ridder as well? I look at it like this. I think I think it could have been Mike Conti for 92.9 the game. Shout out to him. He's a phenomenal guy on that radio station, one of my favorite radio stations in the country. Mike Conti said that he understands why people would talk about getting Ridder out there to play. But I don't think they're going to make that they're not going to make that move if they're continuously one or maybe 2 games around 500. So if they're like 2 games below 500, Marcus Mariota's probably still going to be playing. And I thought about it for a minute. It makes sense. And, because you really can't throw away the season if you're 2 games under 500. You really can't, not with the way this league is. Like, you got a bunch of teams that are right now like 3-3, 3-4. They're either 3-3, 3-4, or 4-3. The team we just beat, the Cincinnati Bengals, are 4-3. The Buccaneers are 3-4. We are 3-4. The Panthers just beat the Buccaneers, and they're like what, 2-5 or 3-5 or something like that. So it's like it's really close when you look at everything that's there. And I don't know for certain. I don't believe it, but they still think that Panthers is the Panthers, not the Panthers, but they feel like Mariota is the best chance to, best quarterback to play with right now. And so I guess that's what it is. I don't know. I mean, we're literally like right in the thick of things when it comes to the division. Everybody's under 500, but we're right there in the thick of it. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that the Panthers are leading right now in the division, or they're tied or something. I don't know. It's really weird. So long as it stays like that, it's hard to really go against what Arthur Smith is doing. He's going to feel like he's doing everything that's right. And it's hard to really, it's hard to really go against it because, let's be honest, it's only one game. And that was against the Bengals. The world is not collapsing. And what he's been doing, to an extent, what he's been doing has been working. Just a few, like I said, a few miscues here, a few miscues alleviated there, then we're talking about a whole new team with a different record. But in my opinion, I don't think that this could be sustainable. We're going to have to get aggressive downfield to make something happen. When you look at the Atlanta Falcons, who they have next, like I said, the Panthers, we played them twice in 3 weeks. We play the Chargers, which could be, a really tough game for us now. Looking at how the Bengals did, the Chargers are built very similar to them. Then we play the Bears. So the next 4 games, what are we looking at? I don't know what we're looking at. I'm going to be honest, not at this point, because I said in the last episode, the next 5 games, they look fairly winnable, and I was going to give the Falcons at least 2 wins because I thought they were going to beat the Panthers. Now I'm not sure. Especially with our secondary out as well, which we'll talk about the rest of the team as the week goes on. But you're looking at a secondary that's not really healthy, quarterback that really can't put the ball down the field like we want to. I would like to see like 4 or 5 more plays where Zacchaeus goes down the seam. Not just Zacchaeus, but any of those other guys go down the seam and catch a football. Or at least attempt. Give Drake London some jump balls. Do the 6'5". He can get it. Let Kyle Pitts run some routes like Kelsey and do something. Quit being so conservative. I think if we start doing that, you'll probably see a little bit more of aggression and a little bit more scoring. Stats will be looking a little bit better, and we'll be more control of a game, even if the game is in a shootout, which this game could have been a shootout. Even with that, we'll still have more control of what we're trying to do instead of just trying to play so timid and not trying to make anything happen. At some point, you got to do something. At some point. But I feel like the Falcons can still be okay. But I don't think they're going to be okay if they keep being timid with the football. That's just my opinion. I feel like what the Falcons need to do is really start trying to get the ball to their playmakers more often. And I know Coach Arthur Smith has this like attitude, or he has this, philosophy of how he does things, and I don't agree with it. But when you're still in the thick of it, when it comes to the division, it's very hard to, argue. But I just feel like with the way this team is playing, they're playing okay. But I feel like the passing game has to get better. This passing game has to be pushed out. It has to be a little bit more aggressive. It has to be. It just makes no sense that Marcus Mariota is averaging around 130, 140, 150 yards a game passing. That's just insane. It has to be more aggressive and more efficient, because you got the receivers, you have the talent, but when you have Kyle Pitts and Drake London, I think they average combined they had like 17 or 19 yards total. I mean, you're not going to win games like that. You're just not. We need these guys to get at least, 10, 12 targets a game. And I know that, like I said, Coach Arthur Smith has been talking about that, and he think he has the answers. Hey, he's a coach. I'm just calling that what I see from where my standpoint is. In front of the camera, behind the mic. So I just wanted to know, just want you guys to know my thoughts and opinions about that. But we need to do something as far as getting that ball downfield. We got to. This is a passing league, and this league is built on pushing the ball downfield and getting points. The Falcons have done very good overall this season with some pretty decent defense, and now with your secondary is kind of going to be down for a while, you're really going to have to get aggressive. You're going to have to. That's just how it's going to be. Hopefully things will change for that. Play the Panthers this upcoming Sunday. We'll go from there, and we'll talk about it from there. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think, man. I mean, is Coach Smith is protecting the passing game, or is it just not working? Do the Falcons need to be more aggressive? What do they need to do, man? Because, I mean, I don't want this to fall apart on some self-inflicted stuff. I'd rather for it to fall apart because we gave it our all and just came up short. Y'all let me know, man. You guys enjoy your Monday. I'm going to get out of here. You guys take it easy, and you guys be blessed. Oh, one more thing. I can be found on all the podcast avenues that are on the screen: Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. And also when it comes to the visual side of things, YouTube and Rumble. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all take it easy. Peace.